we'll see it. I mean, Night Stalker as well. I don't actually think we've seen a Night Stalker this entire tournament, have we? Definitely
No,
none.
at least I feel like it's been forever since I've seen it, but wow, they go for the Morphling for Akashi. This is bold, because if a Night Stalker jumps on you with no health, Rubik lift forward by Illuminate could be enough. Like there is, I'm always one of those people who's like Morphling. It can either go godlike 22-1 or something like a 0-7 kind of hero where just looks there's issues with it. It's very risky. I admire Polaris for going for it, but my God, it's a big risk. And check out Morphling's model. That looks like jelly. That does not look like water.
Yeah, I mean that's probably like the mostly like people have always bashed on the Morphling model since this game damn well started. Like when there was I can't remember which TI it was, but there was a vote to do like a model rework of one of the heroes. I think it was Drow Ranger that ended up getting it. And it was like, come on, sort out Morphling, man. This guy looks like trash. Just, please change it.
In Dota 1, back in my days in Dota 1, I'm so old, he actually had something cool that he would change colors. Like as you play him, because the lore was he's some sort of unstable creature. So he walks around and he's blue, he's red, he's green, he's purple. And that was kind of cool. Then you come in here and he looks like I don't know, just weird jelly monster thing. It's not cool.
Yeah, it just not quite really getting a nice effect going off there, but you never know. They might at least do a model change eventually. We're waiting for TI 2030, and then we'll get a new Morphling skin. But we shall see. But still, these final picks to come out. Boom Esports look like they're just after their carry, and Polaris do decide to take away both the Slark and Arc Warden in response. And we'll see what they go for. Which sort of main carries jump out at you to go versus a Morphling?
To be honest, I was thinking less of a carry. I was thinking, what if they consider putting like Keeper of the Light mid, make the Ember Spirit carry, and just take an Ancient Apparition. Like I thought that would be an interesting idea to go for. But in terms of carries, when Leah's out, it feels like almost all the time it's Ursa who's the god, and he can just jump. They go for Naga Siren. Okay. Why not? Natsumi had a fantastic performance within Game 1. There's no reason why they shouldn't take it in Game 2, so I like it. And it's not that bad with the Keeper of Light, right? All this Chakra spam, you get even more mirror images going away. Although, I think that you can't have more, like the cooldown refreshes, you can't get like summon another batch, the old batch goes away. But either way, very good armor on the hero, very durable later on, good sleep to reset. Polaris, they need a hero who can do some AoE damage, and they need an off-lane role. Necrophos? But the problem is Necrophos against Night Stalker is not great.
Yeah. How about potentially the Underlord? Could see that maybe come back.
I like the Underlord a lot. I think the Underlord would be fantastic for them. Tide Hunter would be decent, although not great against the Night Stalker because the silence is sort of like follows him around. Timbersaw is gone. Dragonite's gone. Centaur is also okay, but he's a low armor hero. He's not. I mean, I think the Centaur would be pretty good just to help everyone get out of the Night Stalker ultimate.
Yeah. But then I suppose as soon as you see Stampede used, Esports can then just pop Song of the Siren. And then it's the Stampede gets immediately cancelled, and then that feels really rough in response. So it's, you've got a few options to go for him, Polaris, but now 15 seconds left. They're going to have to make a decision momentarily and see what it's going to be.
Underlord, Centaur, Necrophos, although I'm really thinking Necrophos is too risky. They go with the wow, okay. Is it Bach on it? Alright, so it's gonna be the support. Okay, nothing crazy so far.
So Max, taking a tiny mid. Okay, so it is off lane, position 3 Pugna.
No, CML is Pugna, so it's a position 5 Pugna. It's going to be the off lane Tusk, the mid Tiny. Okay, nothing too crazy there. Because I was like Pugna. I was like, if this is a core Pugna, that is super risky. It's not bad against Naga Siren because all her damage is physical, so you can negate a lot of it. But there's still an Ember Spirit and Keeper of Light, and like there's still a good amount of magical damage. Decent push from Polaris, but mishmash of heroes that I don't like. Morphling, Pugna, off lane Tusk. Now, Boom Esports, easier draft to execute. Got the Keeper and the Ember Spirit combo. Natsumi and Nagasaki looked really good in game one. So bet your, you know what? Don't bet anything. Just go with maybe put $5 on Boom Esports and you'll be fine.
Just 5, that's a very conservative bet.
You know?
But I mean, in game number 1, right, it seemed like Polaris had a really decent draft and it seemed quite even, but it still Boom came ahead. But now Boom definitely does have a more solid draft, so that does mean Polaris is going to win, right?
Yes, that's actually how it works, Basically, whatever we say, the opposite always happens. That's just how it works in this. How do we keep getting hired? I don't know. But yeah, Polaris, they do have a faster draft though, right? You have the Tiny with a Blink Dagger, a Tusk with no downtime, Pugna can take buildings, Miran if you can land arrow, that's pretty good. But it's not like, the thing is, Boom's not slow either. Yeah, Nagasari needs to farm, and so does the Morphling, but Ember Spirit, Night Stalker, along with the Keeper of Light backing them up, these are all very fast heroes as well. So Boom Esports, they played better in game 1.
Yeah. We'll see how this is going to go. Obviously, I'm not quite sure if we're going to see as good of a Tusk showing as we saw in that first game, especially from an off-lane Tusk. I mean, sometimes it's like kind of rough, when you play a hero which you just lost against and they had a fantastic show and you're like, it's sort of like trying to upstage it, but you just can't, and then, there's a slight little mentality behind it there.
No, I imagine what they're doing in Polaris, what they're doing to lift up his spirits, like they do in TI, is telling him, make sure you play like Yopaj. They're like, just play like Yopaj. That'll win us the game. Play like Yopaj. And he's like, but I'm not Yopaj, and I'm on a different place. Like, no, just play like Yopaj.
Yeah. Play like the Page or you're kicked. It's a simple choice. It's up to you, Bok. Do what you want to do. But yeah, doesn't look like we're going to get any first blood play. I mean, actually quite a few people from Boom running mid, but just going to be put down wards, It's been a long time since we've seen a team go for a 5-man smoke wraparound for first blood. It's just every game, everyone's just setting up on their own side, just want to get the bounties and go back to the lane. No one wants to risk anything.
Yeah, they're boring now. Remember, we don't have the level 1 Roche that we used to in the old days. I don't know if Roche is even possible to kill level 1. He's got 20 armor, 6,000 health, 20 health regeneration. I mean, to be fair, his early abilities, they're not great, but his just raw stats are pretty wild. I guess an Ursa could eventually get him down.
Yeah, you did like a whole entire proper 5-man draft to try to achieve that objective. Do you remember when there was that time when people sniped the tier 1 tower at 0 minutes in? Like that
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it got changed in a patch pretty quickly, but yeah, they were able to kill the tier 1 tower at 0 minutes, and then the enemy carry had no room to work with, and the game was just pretty much over. It was funny to watch, but still, a little bit of a fight for this bottom bounty. Mac just gonna take a couple of slaps in the face, and he still walk off. We'll be 2 for 2 on the split.
I don't think you can actually bring down towers now before the timer, right? Because they don't even have a health pool at this point.
Yeah, they made that change because that happened, and they were like, okay, no, we can't allow this, and yeah, they had to patch it as a response. It was funny though. It was amazing to see.
Depends on which side of it you are, right? It's like for you, it's like, oh, it's a lot of fun. I'm like, yeah, if you say so. Zephyr gets Illuminate, CML dodges it quite easily. Alright, so bottom lane, it is going to be the Night Stalker as well as the Keeper of Light versus the Pugna and Akashi's Morphling. So, it looks like Pugna's going to have a decent time here. You can say a lot of things about Coddle, but in terms of trading right clicks, he is definitely one of the worst.
Yeah, definitely heavily relies on the old Illuminate spam to get his work done. Unfortunately, even the Akashi was just able to get that deny him before the Illuminate came through. So he couldn't really accomplish what he wanted to do there. Very unfortunate for him.
And mid lane, it's going to be the Tiny versus the Ember. Mac already has that 1 point in tree grab. Going to get another tree for himself here. And that's going to be helping him get those knives off. Probably going to try to deny that range creep if he can. Oh, still can't get the melee. Doesn't even get the range either. Yopaj, he is really good. And he's got that point in Flame Guard, which means that while Mac is trying to get those denies off, he's taking a lot of burn damage. It's 25 damage at level 1. Yeah, 25. It's pretty substantial, actually.
Yeah, it is really good. And like we say, normally you do see a Tiny just winning that harass war in the early parts, but Yopaj just played it perfectly right now. Really knows what he can do. It is shown about why he is this very highly prioritized mid laner. Meanwhile, up top, Jing in some danger. The snowball is there from Bok to make the space, but it's just a matter of time. No. He thought he could like juke him out, but unfortunately for him, Natsumi gets the first blood.
I like that we were seeing Mirana evolve from the level 1 Sacred Arrow. You know, we're seeing her take different skills, but sometimes you get punished for it. And, you know, if you see the stars from there, you know, she doesn't have arrow. So, you know, she doesn't have leap to escape. She's not using arrow to get those big creeps. And she is level 1 and 2 minutes in. So she could have farmed a couple of creeps in the jungle with a Sacred Arrow. Could have even secured the range creep for herself.
Yeah, I guess the build is to try and counter the harassment coming out from the Rubik, I would assume, but yeah, clearly just not end up and didn't pay itself off in that time.
Even then, it's very tough. Like Rubik, this is the reason why Rubik is one of those position forces high prioritized. Is his stats are pretty absurd, right? He's got 60 base damage. He starts off with a ton of armor. Of course, he's gotten a little bit inflated thanks to the Iron Branch, but still, he does have pretty massive stats. And gets as well this Sentry Ward removed.
So FBZ as well down at the bot. Yeah, he's getting punished quite hard. CML trying to get some body blocks in, but still won't bring down the Night Stalker. But good amount of harass damage, going to force to use up those tangos. Did make him use his stick charges as well. That's not too bad.
I mean, it's a Night Stalker during the day up against 2 range heroes. He's definitely going to be taking some hits, and he's still doing fine. He's got the same CS as Akashi on the Morphling, and this is going to be an issue for the Morphling, is that you can't go too much agi as you'd like, just because the Illuminate followed by a Void could do a huge amount of damage to you. And CML, oof, he's feeling it as well.
Yeah.
Overall, a relatively tame laning stage. I mean, we have 1 kill coming out here for Boom Esports, but it does feel like now that once Jing has a leap, which he could take if he wants right now, he's just going to be fine. It does feel like it's going to be pretty hard for kills to come out until the mid laners are about level 6.
Yeah, definitely. It is still very even in this mid. 21-4 to Mac to 21-2 there of Yopaj. So still no one really pulling out ahead as of yet. The rotation from the supports just to secure the first water runes there. Denies any regen coming up from Mac. You know, we'll see if Yopaj is going to be able to use that to his advantage and bully out his Tiny.
Tiny, that's the thing about Tiny mid, right? He's very durable. It's hard to bring him down. And I don't think the Ember Spirit's the hero to go for. He might need to consider taking Grow if he's going to lane longer, though. That 0 armor against Sleight of Fist really hurts. Like, it actually does a number on the Tiny.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for it stacks up, especially now Sleight of Fist now level 3. It's going to be, it's going to be quite nasty for Mac to try and stand his ground. And as well, like, a lot of the sort of burst harassment damage that a Tiny brings is all magical, and Yopaj realizing that, just putting, you know, all of his secondary points in towards Flame Guard, and it's just going to really help him win this harass war.
It's just been, I mean, Yopaj, he knows this matchup better than anyone. He is one of the stars in the mid laner. I got an interview him once, and he's a very nice guy. You know, he answered a lot of my questions, giving me like what like the way he plays and everything like that. Top lane, Box taking some damage, but I think he's gonna walk out or maybe not.
Still telekinesis, body blocks coming in from the illusions. Unfortunately, Natsumi couldn't quite get the full block in, and yeah, Bok able to walk himself out of there. But still, he did take a lot of damage for that. And he's got to be careful. Like, it just shows, as soon as Boom sees the fact that Jing has stepped out, they just go right away on top of the Tusk and really try and win that 2 versus 1 situation. I mean, even Jing's got to be careful. You know, he can get burst down. Depends if Natsumi's got the 1 point into Ensnare.
I love that.
I would burst him.
I love that. I feel like when we see no Naga-san without Ensnare, I feel like that's very greedy. It's like, I gotta win the lane, I gotta win. But if you can get 1 kill with it, or even just harass the enemy, that's really good. It's not just about accelerating your own farm, it's about getting more. And Yopaj spots that there's no ruin, but Jing gets it instead.
Oh, nice little snatch away there. Definitely going to help out his mid laner quite a lot, now that both of them have the level 0 on the bottles. But wow! FBZ just got a solo kill there onto Akashi.
There's no silence!
Yeah, he's got level 2. What? How?
Full agi. I told you, this is why I don't like Morphling, man. I've always seen care players always overestimate their ability to morph or something. They just go full agi. It's just so risky. He's only got 2 points in the morph anyway. Mac, he's in trouble.
Oh, there he is. Missed that one, but Mac does get brought down. Rotation for both the two supports on the side of Boom. Bring the numbers, take him out. And you're going to try and do some damage here to Tier 1. The Catapult, though, did just get killed from Jing, so at least with that down, it's going to take a little bit of extra time before this Tier 1 does drop. But with the help of CML, might be able to push Yopaj off.
Kashi, he's full Agi again, by the way. And all the science comes out, but now he gets the morph off. Lucky for him, because there was a Zephyr right there.
Yeah, that could have been big. 2 deaths in a row there for the Morphin. That would have been his TP on cooldown as well. Would have just been a huge punish. Fortunately enough, not going to fall prey to that now. But even still, so solid 1k gold lead at the moment for Boom Esports. All 3 cores at top of the net worth. So they're feeling comfortable.
Oh, definitely. And they have stacks. They have a small stack coming out here. Zephyr is helping Yopaj farm it. I say that, but he's actually getting a few of the big creeps himself. And he's like, look, Yopaj, I'm helping. Oops, I got another one. Sorry, bro. Not my fault. I, maxed out Illuminate and charged it fully.
Just the power of Cole. Yeah, committed the ultimate there. Unfortunately for FBZ, CML had already started backing on out, so kind of a wasted ultimate at this point. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get much out of it. Which I say that, and they're still coming over right now. But Polaris making the read. They're like, right, okay, we know which side the Night Stalker's on. Just run the complete opposite direction. Wait for this ultimate to end, and then maybe we can make something happen. And I don't know the ping was for Boom to head down towards the Morphlin, but he does manage to fall back in time.
And yeah, it's also really good because they had the wards right there, so it works out. Like they saw it coming from a mile away. And Boom, they're fine with the pace of the game, right? You have great scaling coming out from the Naga Siren. Certainly, I think at least as good as the Morphling. I'd say better, honestly, but at least as good as the Morphling. And you're up against the Tusk who falls off. Tiny could scale really well into the late game, but at least Yopaj is handling him for now. So you have 3 cores that can go well late game versus at least 2 of the cores from Polaris who could go pretty well.
Yeah, they can. And we got this Invis rune here in the hands of Mac. Gonna move into the jungle. Yopaj is gonna get a call from here. No detection to see this coming, and down he goes. Yopaj. That's a very nice kill to find, especially seems how Mac also got the kill credit.
And Yopaj already has the same amount of deaths that he had in game 1. It's like, oh, definitely he's definitely not up to the same stuff, but he's still second highest net worth. And Mac, where is he on the Blink Dagger? All right, so he went back for the Power Treads, has the Magic Wand, Infused Rain. He went for a lot of these early good stats, some mana regen. It's very helpful, but does delay his Blink Dagger by a little bit. Interesting. Sometimes we see them go face boots with the Echo Saber, but he went for the Power Treads. Oh, another attempt. Oh, another arrow!
Yes, perfectly set up. Yopaj in some real danger right now, still alive for now, and will be able to get the Fire Remnant away. Does take a lot of beating for it though, but hey, he's got the shovel, so he got a free salve. He's happy about
that. Took out a lot of CML bottom lane though. Kashi, is he gonna be alright? Ooh, the push actually gets him out of range of the avalanche.
That's pretty unfortunate there. I'm sure Zephyr's quite happy about that. He was still, another failed gank there on towards the Morphlin, trying to give him space, but he is still lagging behind. But in all honesty, there's not that much gold separating the bottom and top farm core. Literally 600. So it does feel very neck and neck this game. Could go either way.
Yeah, it's not like it's some overwhelming advantage for Boom Esports. And Polaris, you do feel like they're still sort of getting into gear. They're not fully online yet, and we'll see that once Bach is ready to make rotations. He's going to go for the mech build, and I don't know, I just don't like when I see a mech build on a tempo control hero. It seems like you're not taking full advantage of your early game damage. Yeah. Oh, arrow? Hits X-Nova.
I think he actually purposely tanked that to keep the catapult alive. They really want to try and take down this tower if they can with this wave, but Polaris are bringing the numbers. So 3 versus 3 right now. And let's see if anyone else is going to step out. Shackles getting the connection. Illuminate doesn't actually land, but even still, X-Nova does take a bit of a whack. And finally, Boom will decide to back on out. Or will they? Yes, they will.
I'm sure if we had an interview with X-Nova, he said, "Yeah, I was keeping the catapult alive. Didn't you see what I was doing?" We're like, "Yep. If you sure." I mean, yeah, that might have actually been what was going on for him. FBZ has been fairly quiet. He's got 1 kill on the Night Stalker, and that's about it. I mean, to be fair, it's not a high kill game, but he's definitely not like forcing the issue.
No, yeah. It's funny that 1 kill that he had was no silent solo kill onto a Morphling, which is you know, pretty impressive as it is, but yeah, I'm sure he'd like a couple more if he possibly can. Obviously, he has his ultimate back off of cooldown, so if Boom did want to try and force some sort of fight, he's definitely going to be more than willing to get involved. And yeah, he's relatively close now to this Blink, just 800 gold, and then he can really start making the Morphling's life miserable.
Yeah, that'll be the point when Akashi starts getting a little bit worried. He doesn't have the Manta style either. I mean, you could use that sometimes to split. You send each one a different direction. You let the Night Stalker be like, okay, I'm gonna guess which one it is. Nor does he have a BKB coming out soon, so it does feel like it should be relatively easy for FBZ to be on top of him. He does get the tower, and now he's getting very close to the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice start for him. See if they're going to be able to carry on this lead or not. I mean, the net worth is just steadily increasing here into the favour of Boom Esports. So, minute by minute, they are pulling ahead. Not by a large portion, but just a bit. Maybe in some danger, but Polaris not choosing to overextend. They will fall back. Regardless, they've already taken down that tower themselves.
This is scary. This is getting very scary for Polaris. Like, nothing is happening. But Boom Esports, just like we said, I saw Tundra do this yesterday. They just keep out farming the enemy team, then they just take the fight. Mac?
Yeah, in some
They're
danger
gonna
now.
go for him.
I think the Shackles was actually a little bit off the mark there for Yopaj. Couldn't get the lockdown, but regardless, FBC still coming on in right now. Tiny in some danger. The right click's coming in. The silence is also on top of him, but still, the rest of Boom not quite able to get on top of him that quickly. It's a tanky man, this Tiny. And now the potential turnaround. Illuminate comes through. Max still alive, just barely, but finally will get brought down. Now CML and Shing have got to be careful. These right clicks will end up stacking pretty quickly right now. Arrow through the middle, not landing onto anyone, but still another searing chains on towards Bok. He's underneath the tier 1 tower. Snowball going on towards the Ember Spirit. Wants to run away as fast as he possibly can. But FBC, nighttime is over. The heal's coming in from CML. Arrow does connect. One final Slight Fist brings him down, but Akashi now getting involved. But it looks like Boom, they will back on out.
Oh, that's what, 2 core kills on Mac as well. But these are the guys who are supposed to be making space for your team, and Boom Esports hunting them down, thinking, why should we go for Akashi when we know he's going to take a while to get online anyway, when we can just crush their early game? And that's what they're just doing. FBZ looks like Blink Dagger is on the way. Oh, it's getting very scary for Polaris. We said it before, but continues to, like, it's not getting better, and I'm not sure how it's supposed to get better. Maybe the Blink Dagger on the Tiny, it'll be available for him in about 100 gold. That could be an opening for him.
Yeah, that, like, if they get that item and they still don't make anything happen, then yeah, then it is just 100% Boom going to eventually run away with this game. But it's all going to come down to the timing of these blinks and what they can actually get done. And they are now going for a 3-man split. They didn't actually include the Tiny in that. Just going to leave him to his own devices. And yeah, we'll see if Bok with the 2 supports are going to be able to find anyone. Oh, what a scan! Yeah, big read there coming out from Natsumi, just to realise that was coming his way and avoids it with ease.
And unfortunately, by the way, the Tiny has already revealed that he's out Blink Dagger. Oh, fight begins actually. Arrow lands. Bok.
In some danger. Mac jumping in, trying to go for the quick burst onto Zephyr. Still alive for now, but still they will bring down the Keeper Light eventually. But it looks like Boom, they want to try and carry on pushing in for more right now. Natsumi is getting involved. Net lands on towards Mac. Good chains onto 2 as well. Do they have the follow-up damage though? That is the question. Avalanche just trying to hold back the Narcosaurus for as long as possible. FBC now also getting involved with his Blink revealed on top of the Tiny. Can they bring him down? Heal from CML will give the space for Tiny to disengage. But regardless, it is so far a 2-for-1 trade here for Boom. And FBZ, I'm sure he would like a +1, but not quite going to find it.
And Natsumi was involved in that fight, so at any moment they could have just songed and made it out just fine. He was very durable as well. They tried to go for a kill, but tried to actually damage him, but the snowball, even after it landed, just couldn't do anything. Jing! And he's going to be making it out just fine. Overall, the Blink reveal not going as planned. He actually went to the mid lane and hit some creeps there, and they're like, well, there he is. He has a Blink Dagger. He just, like you said, they weren't going for a smoke with Mac, and then he just shows himself in the mid lane like that. And it's not the Blink reveal you want, where you trade, 2 of your heroes just to get a position for support.
Yeah, definitely not how they wanted the Blink full Mac to come out. Unfortunately, yeah, just constant spam of these Sleight of Fist. As you were saying earlier on, the Chakra Magic, just allowing Yopaj to spam this out relentlessly. Makes it very difficult for Mac to get much done. Actually, they're just going to try and go for him right now. The 2 of them. Arrow comes through, lands onto Illusion. Mac, he's trying to get himself away. He just can't do it. And that's all they, Mac had multiple people behind him trying to help out, but
Yep.
still Yopaj, with the help obviously of Zephyr, was able to bring him down.
There's one sort of, I don't know if I could call it a positive, but there's something that Polaris is going to try to do, which is that they picked the Pugna to counter the Naga Siren. You do get the shard, you are able to get all these illusions off in 1 second, so that's kind of nice, but he still doesn't even have the shard in 17 minutes. He's about 300 gold away from it. It's a very roundabout way of sort of countering. He's like, all right, we're going to get this hero. If he gets the shard, and he sort of uses his ultimate, and on it, it's like, so many things have to go right for this counter to work, but let's see if
I was saying, and at the moment, it's not even the Naga Siren doing the work. It's like
yes,
Natsumi's just off doing his own thing, just, you know, farming up, pretty comfortable at top of the net worth. But it is pretty much all just down to Yopaj with the help of his supports, just running around doing a lot of work.
exactly. Like, Natsumi is pressuring the bottom lane. No one's really bothering him, but he's not actually doing sort of something that no one else could do, right? He's just pushing out the lanes normally. He's fine. Akashi in the top lane is gonna try to do the same as well, actually.
And they'll try their best to do some damage, but they're not quite going to commit for it. Meanwhile, their tier 2 will end up falling down. Looks like they actually want to go for Bok right now as well. FBZ is here. 18-minute rune, spawns towards the boss, but couldn't even get that one. Now he's into real danger. Signs the top arrow. Ooh, nearly got the connection, but not quite enough. Bok's still alive for now, but it's the constant pursuit from Boom. Oh, nice snowball up to the high ground there. Makes a bit of space, but doesn't matter. The charge is still coming through. Boom, it's not letting anyone escape. 2 people down just like that. And do you think they could also go Rosh?
Not the best Rosh lineup, but they have to bring Natsumi here, but he's around the area, so he can definitely help them out if they need to. That was the Guardian Greaves, by the way, being used on Bok to escape in that fight. He uses it, sorry, on Max, sorry, he uses it just to dispel the Searing Chains, but it's not enough. And there's no aggression coming out from Polaris. You know, we're just not seeing anything coming out from them right now. They seem very content to farm and kind of cede map control over to Boom, who's 10,000 gold ahead. That is massive.
Yeah, like, if you look at the graph as well, it is just continuously going down and down and down. There's absolutely nothing Polaris could do to try and, you know, bring it back up into their favor. Stolen Strength also there for X-Nova, so now we have a nice tanky Rubik, 2.2k HP pretty much.
Yeah, and who cares about armor, right? Because he's not taking a lot of physical damage anyway right now. I mean, Pugna as well as Tiny and Miran are all just doing a lot of magic damage. Oh, here we go.
They're trying to go into Yopaj right now, and they actually successfully bring him down. That's a really nice target to get. But still, they're going to carry on pushing up for more. Doesn't look like Boom want to completely disengage from this area, falling back to the high ground. Now they are actually starting to split, and Mac's going to find the opening to jump on towards the Rubik. But remember, he's very tanky now, so he's going to last a bit longer. Illuminate also coming through. But eventually he will still fall. So there's 2 kills for Polaris. Looking to see if they can find a third, but doesn't look like Boom are going to let them have it.
They have the tag team, 2 points. Yes, it's not maxed out, but this could be an option for them. Unfortunately, they want to go for it. They got to go for it, you know, 10 seconds ago, because right now your party's going to be up in 5 seconds, and they realize they do not have enough time. So unfortunately for them, they do get 2 good kills for Polaris, but it doesn't quite change the status quo of the game, right? It's still Polaris under control, still Boom Esports running the show.
Yeah, 100%. And Yopaj also getting pretty close to his BKB as well, so trying to go for that lockdown play probably isn't going to be successful again in the future. He'll have enough time to react and, you know, potentially be a complete flip reverse on how that fight goes. Only time will tell. I mean, like we were saying earlier, like Polaris, they've got to make moves with these blinks and stuff, but they've got to keep making those moves. Like, they've got to do it again and again. It's the only way they can be able to claw their way back.
Their vision's also a bit weird, right? They have this top ward very close to the enemy outpost in dire tier 2, which makes it tough, because if you make a move there, you know the enemy's going to be able to reinforce it. And they also have, like, some defensive wards. That's about it. Oh, Akashi? Akashi?
In some danger. TP gets cancelled. FBC on his case. And I think he knows it's just a matter of time before he dies right now. So many members of Boom Esports coming on up to catch off this Morphlin. And yeah, you can just tell Polaris, they know he's dead. No one's coming up to try and help. I guess with the Morphling down, do you think Boom can now go into the Roche pit, or?
Only if Natsumi feels like it, right? You have to get the Naga signed, because the other 4 heroes, they're not exactly Roche hitters. They're not exactly physical damage dealers. You get some of it coming out from the Night Stalker, but his build is only like phase boost. That's it, really. He doesn't really have much more like sort of damage coming out. He's going for more utility with the Blink Dagger. I mean, it's the right pick. I'm just saying this does not help you take down Roche.
No, it definitely doesn't. We also see now Polaris going for this little smoke attempt right now. Despite the fact that they're missing their Morphling, they're going to see if they can find an opening. There is going to be the grab on towards the Cole. Quick, easy kill. Can help try and balance out these numbers a bit. See if they're going to try and push for more, but boom. Just full disengager right now.
Mac with a DD Rune Echo Saber. I feel like if he can jump on anyone, even FBZ, he might be able to get that kill. Will be close, but can they find him? Oh, this is a bit of an opening here that they gotta make some use of, but Mac reveals himself top lane and just goes to farm. Safe choice, but does mean that Boom Esports, they're aware that there's a double damage bottled Tiny roaming around with an Echo Saber, with a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, definitely. Gonna give them pause for thought. That is gonna be something, yeah, they have to contend with. But still, the Naga Siren just so dominant at the top right there. Now Heart of Tarask finished on top of everything else. Sat at like pretty much 2.8k HP, tons of armor to work with. This feels like an extremely difficult target to actually bring down. Like, it's going to require pretty much Polaris to focus everything they have, but then that will just leave FPZ and Yopaj to do their thing.
And even then, you got Mech Keeper of the Light, who can heal you with the Illuminate. He's got a Seeds of Serenity. I mean, I say Seeds of Serenity like it's a big deal. I mean, it's what, 8 health a second, but it adds up. You know,
it does. It's like the power of 9 mangoes. All that HP regen.
Yes.
It adds up.
It's a good spell. It's a good item. All right, it's a great item. Polaris, are they thinking about smoking up here? They do have a smoke on CML. It does feel like the window of their opportunity to win the game is getting smaller and smaller as time goes by. Bach, he's gonna be okay.
Just getting poked.
Oh, sucker punch.
X-Nova saw that. It's like, hey, I stole an ultimate, guys. I got one. Not the most impactful ultimate in the world, but hey, it's something.
All you have to do is just, I mean, it's a BKB piercing one. That's probably the best part about it. And Mac has been kind of, I don't say farming here because he's 4-3-2, but he hasn't been the most active Tiny. And will they smoke up?
So they're just gathering right now. Going to move into a triangle, which is where Natsumi is chilling right now. FBZ going to pop his ultimate straight away on top of the support Pugler. Gets removed from the equation straight away. Even Mac now getting caught, trying to wrap on top of the Tiny as best they can. He's still alive for now, and eventually will get brought down. The BKB from Yopaj allowed to chance through, but the Decrepify there from CML. The buyback really coming in clutch to keep his mid laner alive, but just doesn't end up keeping him alive for long. He still falls. Now the Morphling in some real danger. Just the silences, the control, the stuns, the snowball is going to delay this for now. Can he get himself out? Nice use of the Manta Styles, force the surge up to the high ground, but still, just the follow-up is there from Boom, chasing them all the way into the base.
Oh, God.
Even going to find Bok off to the side here. Another snowball to try and delay this out, but delay is the word to use because he will still die. 4 people down for Polaris, 5 technically because it's a dieback from the Pugner, and Boom don't lose anything.
One thing that went really, really well for Boom is that Yopaj, he was walking in invis, walking through the sentry ward, and Akashi had a couple of Manta-style illusions that they saw hitting him, telling him, oh, I know that they have a sentry ward here, and he was able to get away from Mac in time to make it alive in that situation. So it's a small thing there that happened that saves Yopaj's life. And this game feels even worse than game 1 did for Polaris right now.
Yeah, it really does. 15,000 gold behind, 25 minutes in. Going to be able to clear up this first Roche, and Yopaj, she's just finding more kills. Another grab onto Jing. Sort of doing like we was doing in game number 1. Obviously, at this point, I think he was like 13 for 0, but he's still doing a fantastic job. He's doing what he needs to do.
I don't know. I only like my mids if they go 15 and 0 or better, right? He's 2 death. No, Yopaj is absolutely sliding. Game 1 definitely was his show. Game 2, a bit more of a team effort, but like FBZ getting that solo kill on Akashi early on was huge. And since then, I mean, FBZ hasn't even died this game. He's the Yopaj of game 2. Bach, he's the anti-Yopaj maybe.
Look like he actually just walked straight past FBZ there and blinked off, but doesn't matter. We'll just still get ran down. So no Tusk, 45 seconds. Could see the first high ground siege coming out now here from Boom. Casual arrow does land. Meanwhile, up top, actually, Natsumi has just found a grab onto Mac and the Tiny. just gets absolutely annihilated. 2 people gone, no buybacks, and yeah, high ground siege, here we come.
Trying to figure out something that Polaris can do in this situation. I mean, if you had, it's gonna come down to Tiny jumping in, tossing someone to your side, preferably a squishy support. You get the kill off, hope that Mac makes it out alive in that situation as well, and you can get a numerical advantage like that. But remember, you are up against the Naga sleep as well, so even if you catch Xnova, you gotta kill him. And then by the way, Xnova is no flimsy support, baby. He is a fully strength morphed Rubik with 2,000 health.
Yeah, he is the definition of a beefcake, that is for sure. It's very difficult.
I'm pretty sure a beefcake is a very handsome fellow. I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
beefcakes are just like, they're massive, you know, they're really muscular, hench, and yeah, tank everything. Meanwhile, there we've got another fight coming on through. Max stepping up first. Looks like he's going to get bullied down. Just takes so much damage, just raining on through. He just can't do anything this game. Even a potential grab as well to CML dragging him back to Pepperfy, making space. But instead of cashing, actually, takes a fair whack of damage himself. Arrow nearly gets the connection to Zephyr before Staffs dodge it, but still, Bok chases after with the Blink Dagger, takes him down, but Akashi follows him to the grave momentarily. And no buyback for the Morph, but still, Boom, feeling like they could just keep going, and why the hell not? They certainly can. FBC is going to dive the fountain. Yes, he will.
Really?
He does die, but it doesn't even matter. GG is called, and Boom Esports take the series 2-0.
Dude, I mean, the lack of beefcakes on Polaris' side, they were just too squishy, too easy to bring down. That solo kill bottom, they had a Tiny and a Tusk, but the other supports were just, you know, just very easy. Every time they got caught, they would just be killed. Jing as well as CML. And Boomy, they played fantastically. I got like 2 games in a row, perfect plays. Natsumi just left to farm, and everyone else was just making fantastic spaces for him. In game 1 it was Yopaj, game 2 it was a combination of the team. Xnova 2-1 and 15, so he is also doing work for them. I just don't feel like they were challenged. I gotta say, I just don't feel like Boom Esports were challenged in either game. You know, it felt like Polaris was comfortable to play this slow, methodical game. Boom Esports was winning the lanes and going after them, getting those kills. And Polaris was like, no, it's okay, guys. We'll just wait a little bit more. We get this item. Just wait a little bit more, and the map just keeps shrinking the whole time.
It's true, yeah. I mean, it's often what we see as well, isn't it? In the past, it's always like the most aggressive teams, the ones that are willing to just keep fighting, keep going. They really do come out ahead, you know. It's what we saw in the classic days of OG, where they won 2 TIs in a row. It's all they did, just run at people and fight. It works out perfectly. Boom Esports, sorry. Yeah, just playing that game to perfection. There just wasn't anything Polaris could do. And another point to say, Polaris were one of the highest performing teams in the group stage, but just didn't really seem like it in this series.
And Boom Esports is a relegated team, right? Like, they just came out from a pretty tough tour in the DPC, so they got relegated. Polaris they're on the up and up, basically. They're doing well in Division 2, they're doing well in the group stage here, but they go up against Boom Esports like just a wall. We've seen the defensive style work, because I think Tundra Esports is the best team that does it, right? They win the lane stage, then they make it so it's very hard for you to get kills, and they just out-farm the enemy team. But Polaris, they weren't doing that. They went for sort of an aggressive lineup that played defensive in a way. It just did not work out for them at all. And Boom Esports, they had their number. They outplayed them. I don't think they outdrifted them. I just think they just flat outplayed them.
Yeah, like you said, it doesn't seem like a draft issue, did it? Like, the Pugna pick last did seem kind of weird, but, you know, it made sense, as you're saying. It deals with the Naga and stuff. It does bring, you know, what it wants to the table, but it doesn't really make any difference when the enemy team is just playing that well. And yeah, Boom Esports, a much-deserved victory for them, taking it a clean 2-0, and that obviously pushes themselves forwards in the upper brackets, which their next series will be versus Talon, which is actually the series happening tomorrow as well.
Yes. Unfortunately, I won't be here, you know, but you guys are going to have a much, you know, will you be here tomorrow, BluScale, or is both of us taking a break?
Yeah, we're off for 2 days, I do believe. Harry Freak and Kips that will be covering that series, so...
Boo! Boo to Harry Freak. Kips is great, but boo Harry Freak.
Oh, poor old Harry Freak. Again, all the hate in the world. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say to wrap up the series, Otomo?
I'm just going to, congratulate all the teams for winning, and thank them all for showing up. No, I don't think any team was eliminated today. They all just go to the lower bracket. So Polaris, they have a chance to make a comeback, and so does Blacklist's opponent in game 1.
Spawn.
Thank you. So is Spawn. All right, the name escaped me for a second. Yeah, so they have a chance to make it all the way, but you can see that some adjustments are going to be needed. But it's a great time to practice when you are here rather than in the DPC. So it's good show. Hopefully we have closer games coming in the next few days.
Yeah, which I'm sure as well. This always happens. The further along you get in the tournament, the teams get that much more evenly balanced in skill, and that's when the crazy hour-long games of Dotes come with 100+ kills and tier 5 items. I mean, that's
wow.
Like I said, I don't think we had a single 60-minute game anywhere close actually in this tournament so far.
Nope.
So we might see some. But yeah, that is obviously us done for the day, guys. As we were saying, tomorrow will be Talon versus Boom, and then Zerja versus Blacklist, and will be covered by Hairy Freak and Kip. So do tune in tomorrow for that. It'll be more amazing Dotes to come, more entertainment, and that's what we're here for. But thanks everyone for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show, and we see you all in the future.